The random RPGmaker Roulette! Massive pile of unknown games. Pluck one out, timer for 30 minutes, have a play, and see if we get something good. And today we are playing Cubicle Quest, which has... I am so nostalgic for this goddamn song. This is like my favourite song in RPGmaker VX Ace, and I'm just going to chill out for a second to let you all enjoy it. Maybe a little intense for a title screen, I've got to say that, especially one like this. If I recall correctly, wasn't this supposed to be a final boss theme? Anyway, we're playing today Cubicle Quest, which ones I'm quite interested in. I do vaguely know the idea of what this is just from the title screen. I am intrigued in the idea. It is somehow some kind of critique of like corporate office culture through the lens of like medieval JRPG, and I'm intrigued to see how they all merge the two concepts. Also intrigued to see like a more satirical type game which has a bit of a message to it, because we've had games which are like a bit cynical, we've had games which have like been unnecessarily edgy, we haven't really had one that's like, hey, I'm gonna make a statement about a thing that sucks in real life. I wonder how we're gonna handle this, whether they got any like deep meaning or it is just purely for the funny. Having this image paired with the most dramatic music in the entire RTP is pretty hilarious, but I'm still like, has anyone ever actually used this for a final boss? I've heard this song overused so many ways, I've never heard it actually used for a final boss in a game. It is so final boss coded to me, come on. I know we're not going to get to the final boss and end these random RPG makers, but if anyone out there knows and recommends, I would love to play a game which gives this song the dues it deserves. So I'm going a bit off topic. All you need to know is that I want to use this song as a final boss for like every single RPG Maker project I have ever made, ever, and I have never managed to get far enough to even complete the first level, let alone get a chance to use this. So thank you, one game in the universe, for using this in entirely the wrong place. So yeah, got my hopes up. Maybe this one might be one of the better ones we play. I mean, I shouldn't get my hopes up because so many of them have been a letdown so far. We've also found a few gems. Maybe this will be one of them. Okay, why does this keep happening? This is like the 5th one in a row which has had start of completely out of character tutorial. At least this one is like good when they tell you which buttons it is, because there is no unified guide on what buttons to use for RPG Maker. I don't know why that is. Why am I even saying this? I've said it in so many other words. There are so many which just had space or enter or all three or none, or let's just not just continue repeating completely having other ones. Let's just log this as in future. What if I end this whole marathon by doing like a video of like what I've learned over these are the most common mistakes people have been wandering into. I'll do that, and I'll save my complaints about constantly breaking immersion with a tutorial in the first 5 seconds of a game for that. And again, just going, would you like a tutorial is not good, because I have no idea what the tutorial is about. I have no idea if a tutorial is going to teach things that are different in any way from any other game, or if it is just, this is a tutorial for, like, presuming that you don't know how to walk around or do basic combat. I'm going to go no, because I'm so sick of all these tutorials, and every single time I've been like, I'll click on it, because what if it is, like, it has a unique combat system? No, it doesn't. It's just, like, press A to attack. If me not choosing to do this tutorial fucks me over later, it's not my fault. It's the fact that so many games in a row have done that. After graduating, you managed to land a job. You were so happy, at first. And that's a bit of an odd way to go straight into the character name. I could give you one line of personality when going into it. At least it's more than we've had in some of the other ones. Bob Ford. Oh, I'm immediately getting like the exact opposite vibe from the title screen. I assumed it was like going to be parodying office work by like having a mixture of office work and JRPG, but here we're going in and we are a regular office man in a modern setting. Maybe we're gonna like get night powers like a magical girl or something. Finally done with work. Back to this crappy old apartment. I'm so tired I just want to sleep. And then wake up tomorrow and go to work again the next day and the next. Damn, I forgot to have another credit card bill. I might be able to put up with this job if it at least paid enough for me to live. I still haven't done laundry. I know, I'll finish my chores, start exercising, get a girlfriend, research a new job, and turn my life around. It'll be great! Yeah, look, that's gonna happen. Most of the time I just stare at the TV until I fall asleep just like last night. It's interesting to think about everything this game is saying. This game has been made so long ago and it's like even more resonant to nowadays. Like the economic recession is even worse. Employers are even worse about jobs. It's harder to unionize than it ever was before. People are like inventing new ways to like grift on their employees, replace them with AI, replace them with automation, replace them with everything, replace them with like crowdsourcing, Uber drivers replacing like actual taxi drivers and stuff. Like we can just hire lower qualified like random people out in the street for less and like completely ruin and give them terrible payment, so we can pay even less for people who are actually qualified for our job. I feel sorry for both people in that situation. Like the qualified drivers who've lost their job and the Uber drivers now who like take time out of their regular like student life to do this like thing that doesn't even qualify as part-time work and doesn't have the protections of part-time work for like the shittiest pay possible. And just the world of the workplace has got even more war, and I'm intrigued to see how different this game might be from like, modern times and how it might resonate even more. Sigh. Hey Bobford, wake up! Castle sanity! Finally, you're awake! Oh, so it's like an isekai! That's an interesting idea. That's literally opposite of what I expected from a title screen. I was expecting it was going to be like a medieval world where everything just coincidentally works similar to an office. And it's like we're an office person who's been isekai'd into a medieval world. Hopefully this will turn our life around, but judging from what we're going in, it might be like, ironically, everything is even more officey here. Finally, you're awake, says interesting default RPGmaker design. I like that. I like when they use some of the more uncommon default faces. What's going on? Wasn't I somewhere? And it also just makes me realise, like, when you mix the default faces with the actual character creator faces, it's really noticeable, like, why do they make the character creator faces facing in opposite direction to all of the default assets? Usually they would just make that, like, that basic bit of consistency. I'm not Enterbrain, I don't know the way in which they think. What's going on? Wasn't I somewhere else just now? You're mumbling something that sounded like TV. I assume the stress on the war is getting to you. War? The Debt Alliance has taken over most of your... Oh, so it's like an isekai world that like metaphorically represents his stress in his mind or something? Is it going to be like we can fight enemy forms of like landlords and stuff in this world and it'll somehow make our life better in real life? That would be really cool. The Debt Alliance has taken over most of your kingdom. They're threatening to beat down the gates of Castle Sand. Yeah, this is inside our mind. We are in like the Persona metaverse of office jobs. This is fun, the Persona for adults that everyone wants. And no, aside from just Persona 2 already exists, but whatever. Right, I remember now. They were so small at first. They suddenly they had conquered Freetime Mountain. That's right. Come down to the war room. We'll update you on the newest developments. I may say so. The situation looks grim. Such a strange screen. Reports of expense monsters menacing the kingdom. Takes a lot of soldiers to keep them in check. There are fake books to make it look like a person of substance. I'm so ashamed. I love the writing in this game already. The Shrine of Income is working fine, but something is inhibiting its energy. I wonder what it could be. Why is there a door in the floor? I guess it's supposed to be a trapdoor, but that acid is strangely reused. The details involve complex budget magic. Do you want to get into that? Default no. Here we are, that one acid that everyone reuses again. Post-tax income, okay. If I have to actually memorize that, I'm not going to do this because I'm bad at maths. There's some kind of passage down, but it's locked. Are you a math mage? Glad to see you looking better, sir. What's the situation? For our enemies far outnumber us, we've been able to keep them at bay with 400 new soldiers each month. Yeah, I thought we were wearing them down. What's changed? Mom and Pop Kingdom has cut us off! Without their support! Damn, I should have known they wouldn't support us forever! Without their help, how many soldiers can we field? Sir, I'm afraid we won't be able to keep up with the monsters on our own borders. We're going to need 600 soldiers short of what we need to avoid chaos. Or do I actually have to memorize all this math and try and figure it out? I'm gonna ruin this poor man's life because I can't even... I am bad at like 2-digit numbers. I literally have trouble remembering a 4-digit number for my PIN code. Wow, it doesn't sound good. It took me 7 years to memorize my phone number. This is the level of math inability we have. Okay, let's not panic. Let's panic because Bonford is at the helm of the controls. What exactly are we dealing with? How many monsters are in the Debt Alliance? So, we're keeping an eye on them. The credit card armies are menacing the castle. The first legion has 7,000 monsters and they're breeding more. But in my opinion, we should be more worried about the second legion. They're only 3,000 strong, but they're breeding even faster. Beyond them, the college loan army is waiting in the desert. 30,000 strong. So far, we've kept them at bay. I'll keep an eye on them and let you know how the battle is going. But unless you have reinforcements for us, we're going to go under. Oh, I wish I hadn't asked. I spotted a cloaked form walking our walls, but he's not with the Death Alliance, but he terrifies me. Like, is it gonna be like some like predatory guy who like tricks you into a loan or something? Really wish I hadn't asked. Like, let's focus on the sponge for now. What can we do to keep ourselves alive? Eat ramen noodles! I know you don't want to, sir, but I suggest it's time to find a roommate. An ally could cut our rent needs from 1,000 soldiers to 500. Fine, we don't have a choice, but that's not going to be enough. What else can we do? We should venture into the dungeon of work. The king of work said he needed a shift manager. But I don't wanna. Isn't it enough that I got a job in the first place? Not really. It would be over in my monsters if not for Mom and Pop Kingdom. You can do better than this. Yeah, get a promotion, find a roommate, keep sane another month. Got it. I think maybe your sanity is already fracturing, sir. Still waiting on any soldiers. I can't get out until I get rid of at least one legion. Okay, how do I do that? So, oh, Ring of Sanity was found. Yay! Let's equip. That is really interesting how like, you equip your goal instead of a weapon. Okay, we can't equip that, it seems. No, we cannot equip the Ring of Sanity no matter what we do. That's ironic, but also fitting. Oh, it's a key item. Oh, it's just a teleport back home. Okay. Do we have an auto-run option? No, we don't have any options here. Oh, wow. I like when games do give us an auto-run option because, again, RPGmaker always default really slow walk speed. This is a room of elementary RPG explanation. This tradition. Oh, speaking of which, why is there always someone who tells you how to equip your weapons and armor? How is that? This game is after my heart. It's exactly what I hate about those tutorials. It's like either mandatory, unskippable, or like it just tells you, do you want to learn about battle? I'm like, okay, does that mean there's something unique or interesting in the battle? No, it's just how do I go into the equipment menu? Like, I know. I wish there'd be like basic controls tutorial, the advanced controls tutorial or something, or just give me a vague idea of what the tutorial is actually about. Was there a period of games where everything auto-equipped? There's a significant group of people who just assume buying it is enough? Seriously, this keeps me up at night. Exactly! It's like tutorializing things that literally every single game on the market has. You don't need to do that. If you do need to have a hypothetical scenario of somebody who's playing their first game happens to be Cubicle Quest Debt Collector parody game, then just make it optional somewhere. Plain. The first room explains standard RPG elements, the second quirks of the game, and the third element of Yay! So those are the two I do need to go to. Thank you, game, for answering all my problems. You notice the fact I broke the 4th wall, you're taking this way too seriously. God, I love his sense of humour. This room covers less common RPG elements. It might even have things worth reading. Do you need something? Is your job just standing here? Why do all of you look the same? Or no? They all look the same to you? What are you, some kind of NPC racist? Few challenge areas don't allow you to leave and you cannot return. Don't worry, there aren't any missable items hidden too well in the areas you can only visit once. That's good to know. I like it when games make sure they don't have like completely missable shit. Should never have to grind. If something seems too hard, reconsider strategy or go to some other quest. That's also good to know. It's one of those, that's an interesting thing that a lot of RPG Maker games do. It's like critiquing the very idea of grinding. I played, for the life of me, that's one RPG Maker game I'll pause my timer to talk about this. That is one RPG Maker game I've been trying to find for ages. It's just an RPG Maker game I played like 10 years ago, around the same time I played Cherry Tree High Comedy Club when I first moved into St. Mellons, the bad neighbourhood I used to live in. It was some kind of game. The protagonist was like this skeleton guy who had like the big long hair wig, and he was in this like this fancy like red robe, and he had like one of those fencing foils. But you didn't play as a protagonist. He was like a guide to like, it was like a Charlie's Angels parody, but it was like three like different types of like fighter women. Like I think there was like a mage and swordsman or something like that. And you were playing as like the mission controller. You would walk around as the skeleton guy, and then in battle you'd be the three girls. But the interesting part was that there was no leveling system whatsoever. The only systems in the game were like you could equip different items, different equips that entirely change your skill set and stats. And the way it worked was like a puzzle game. It was like every single battle in the game could theoretically be beaten with the basic assets you were given at the start of the game, but you had to figure out exactly the right skills, the right strategy to get it through. And it was really fascinating and really interesting. I really enjoyed it, but it had the shittiest ending ever. And this might make it easy to find the game. It was a really specifically strange and bad ending. The final boss, like this random lady is like, oh, by the way, I'm the ex-wife of the skeleton guy who's been leading the entire time, and by the way, he's actually evil and he's just using you for evil purposes, and trust me, the villain who's been menacing you in the entire game, that you're correct. And then in the cutscene during the battle, all of you like agree, oh yes, by the way, the protagonist, he totally is evil, and we're all going to team up with this evil lady who we've only just met, who's been doing nothing but being evil to us the entire game, to kill the previous protagonist, the guy you've been playing as the entire game. And then the ending is just, yeah, the protagonist is dead, the 3 girls have completely betrayed him and gone off to work for this evil lady, and then it's like, oh, the sequel will work for the evil lady, and then I don't know if it ever got a sequel, but I had no interest in playing the sequel, because I was just like, what the fuck, I got attached to the weird skeleton guy. I don't know if maybe I was just an oblivious kid and I missed the signs that he was supposed to be evil all along, but it really felt like it came out of nowhere, and I did not believe that it was genuinely he was evil. It did just feel like a last 5 seconds plot twist for no reason, and they were being really, really mean and betraying this guy, and it was just like an edgy twist for the sake of an edgy twist or something. And I remember I kept replaying the final battle thinking like, this is going to be a bad ending, right? It's going to be like alternate endings I did something wrong. No, that is just the ending as far as I can tell. It's supposed to be, yes, he was evil and betraying you, but you never get a scene of him revealing he's evil and betraying you. Literally just walk into the room with the final boss. She says, by the way, I'm not evil, the protagonist is evil. Then everyone just goes, alright, I believe you, there is nothing untrustworthy about you. Then the game just ends. It was really bizarre and it really stuck with me, and I do want to play that game again, because playing that for this marathon would be really interesting. But I cannot for the life of me remember what name was. It might have had the word Rose in it or something. And you had some kind of team name, and it might have been like a rose or another type of flower, something like that. And it was like a Charlie's Angels parody, but with a skeleton man. And I really want to find that one again. I really want to find out if it was as bad as I remember, if I just like missed foreshadowing or something. Anyway, I'm turning the timer back on because I don't want to just like lose a bunch of time because I distracted myself. The 4 basic elements: normal attacks, mental, work, and personal. The shift key runs, there's no reason not to use this most of the time. Why didn't you give me an auto run option then, game? That's mean. The game holds your hand during the first phase, so you can't lose like most people would in real life. Nothing's stopping you from killing yourself via mortgage though. And it isn't going to explain things more specific to the game. This room contains explanation of the financial system, which might not be obvious. Yeah, I'm going to fail so hard at these. I'll save you some time and just give you the best strategy though. There's a secret credit card found on Northern Ireland. Okay, I was serious what it means about the game holds your hand early on for the first stage, it's going to get harder later. Get a credit card and max it out. Max all your cards out. Oh, this lady is giving you deliberately false advice. I like that. Buy anything you want. I recommend the biggest house in the yacht. Then take out insurance policies on everything. Burn those mothers down. Fake your own death and retire at Tropical Island with all the money. I like that. I like that immediately subvert your expectations. It's not going to hold your hand in this way. It's going to tell you how to lose the fucking game. Your nemesis, a jaded cop, will track you down, fight him down in slow motion to an orchestral score. Eventually you'll kill him and stare into his face, realizing that his eyes are like mirrors, and by looking into them you see only yourself. I'm not the best person to ask for advice, considering that my job is standing here and explaining a single room. And like real life, in a game you're basically immortal, so if you want to win by grinding months until you're 70, there's nothing stopping you. Boring way to play though. It is actually probably going to be a persona calendar system, that's interesting. The number of years it takes you to win is mostly for fun. There are some options you can close off by taking too long, but optional perks, not new areas. The college loans APR is... I don't know what an APR is. This is so bad I am at maths. I don't know what it stands for and I don't know what it means. And I don't know how to calculate percentages of things. I know how to do 10% and multiples of 10%, but once it gets to like to numbers like that, I know the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to be like, this is 10%, then half of 10% is 5%, but then like, if you divide 10% by 10 you get a 1%, you add them together. I still have to do it in a way, I still can't figure it out just from the words, and it takes me a long time to figure out how much we're not going to have enough time by doing this in the 30-minute preview, but oh my gosh. Savings is generous, investments conservative. I don't know what those means. Leverage won't work. What is leverage? I don't know what leverage. I don't know what these means. I have literally never had a credit card. I've never been rich enough to have a credit card. I don't trust myself to have a credit card. I do everything on debit card. I have a regular savings account. I'm still with the first bank I ever signed up for because I don't know how to transfer banks or how to know which bank is better than other banks. I am so bad at maths. I'm probably losing a whole bunch of money every year, but I don't know. If anyone out there can help me, please. First credit card, I don't know what this means. It's not going to be relevant because I don't know what it means. I don't know how to calculate how to do things for them. Everything compounds monthly, but only when you advance a month. Changes until then happen in between months. The game isn't going to spring any significant life-destroying consequences on you, so feel free to invest away. The strategy may not work so well in real life. More of a content is optional the further you go. If you want more ambitious goals like financial independence, it might require things more difficult. Oh, that's interesting. So you have I suppose a normal ending is just like getting a day-to-day job and surviving day-to-day, and then you might have endings like get the goal of actually getting a job you enjoy and like living financially stable, which like, wow, this game was definitely a power fantasy for the millennial generation. Despite being made before the millennial generation, it really is more relevant the more time goes on. Your spouse's finances are assumed to be stable and separate for yours. Oh, but it's optional to marry or something. Okay. I was gonna say, do we have a spell that didn't mention that? I suppose. I guess like, there's gonna be like romance subplots or something. So where do I go to actually do the things? I'm presuming upwards. The realm of Financia. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love that design for the rat. I wonder if that's a unique one or like for like a little known sprite pack or something. Because I really like our design with the little multicolored ears. Rat race. I love how even the monsters are pun names. Self-esteem is a healing spell. I also think they're making really great choices of like the best default music. But definitely not using it the best of place, because again this seems like a late game battle theme. But maybe it's just part of the humour to have like ridiculously over the top sounds for everything. Type of how mundane your life truly is. The shrine was sealed by a really inconveniently placed boulder. Who is leaving these everywhere? Oh, this is nostalgic. So many of everything has got this. Found a sandwich, some fresh fruit, and a healthy stack. Wow. Hannah, I'm afraid the way is blocked for now by conveniently placed boulders. No, what's wrong? Oh, the Financia Railroad Company just dropped a bunch of boulders here. They never care if I cut off major routes between places. Anyway, I'm moving them out of the way so traffic can flow again. It'll take a while, so I suggest going elsewhere for now. But I need to get to Societyville to find a roommate. You're in luck, there's a guy hanging around the shrine south of here. Alright, I go look. I'm Bobford, by the way. I'm Lisa, great to meet you. Oh, are you my roommate, Matt? Is my roommate like the samurai? Trivial relationship emerged! What? Oh no, we're gonna have to talk about the weather! No! The enemy's attacks don't seem to have any special anything, it's just like basic attacks. I would have expected genuinely to have like the first attack be talk about the weather, or like, oh, do I recognise you from somewhere? Oh, do we go to the same school? Do I remember you from high school graduation? Oh, so when you get married? I'm assuming everyone else is heterosexual. I need my self-esteem! God, that's the worst thing ever, when you're in a taxi and they strike up like trivial conversation and then it turns out this person is like very weirdly heterosexual bias. I've had so many times where I've been in a random taxi and I'm just like, I'm stuck with this person for 30 minutes and they're just like, oh, you are a young woman, aren't you? No. Are you married? No. Oh, do you want to get married? No. Oh, I'm sure you do. I'll set you up with my friend. No. And it's just they will not take no for an answer. They will not accept. And it's like, some people don't have the same life expectations as you. And it's like, I feel like I'm the impolite one by saying like, I'm not heterosexual, I'm not into women, sorry, I'm not into men, I'm not into any of these things. And then it's just like, if I say I'm asexual, like, oh, what is that? Explain that to me. And I'm stuck in this taxi for half an hour trying to awkwardly explain the concept of LGBT to someone who has never heard of it before. And I just feel like I didn't expect this kind of emotional labour at 4 PM in the afternoon when I'm just trying to get to my COVID vaccination. Hey, would you be willing to? Do you need a roommate? I'm desperate, man. I'll take anything. Well, that was surprisingly easy. Yeah, I need a roommate. Can you do 500 a month? Yeah, no problem. I only got kicked out of my last place, so the other guys are jerks. Oh no, are you gonna be one of those guys who like shits in the bathtub and like leaves your dirty socks in the sink? All these hell stories I've heard. Well, I guess I'm desperate. Okay, what do we have to do? Just head south and then go to the west shrine. Not the east one. You better not be into dudes. Oh no! Don't be homophobic, man. I was just talking about that. The random guy joined your party. I guess that's the romance thingy. That's a shame. I would want to marry a dude if it was an option. Alright, basic paperwork can be done. I'll provide half a soldiers for kingdom's rent and utility monsters. Do you always have to set up roommates here at the altar? Seems pretty formal. No, just the first time. After that, you just need to talk to people in person. But the shrine is always here if you need to kick out your current roommate. Got it. I want to kick out you because you're a homophobe. I know, like, it's hypothetically bad for me to be like, oh, I don't want to live. I don't think it's unreasonable to say I don't want to live my entire life in a house with someone who has fundamentally different beliefs to me on LGBT equality. But anyway, like, it's not even like you don't deserve to be a roommate if you don't like LGBT. It's just like, we will have a bad time as roommates because we have this thing we're probably going to argue about very frequently. Because, like, it's not like I can just flip a switch and turn off being LGBT and, like, be okay with not talking about myself with a guy. You know, people always seem to be like, oh, LGBT people should compromise for the sake of they should not talk about themselves, not be too open about themselves with Republicans, sexists, whatever. It's just like, but why doesn't it go the other way? Why isn't it just like, oh, you're like someone who doesn't like LGBT people, can't you just shut your mouth and be fine with someone else talking about it? Like, no, it's always like, you shut your mouth about not wanting us to shut our mouth. I don't get it. I'm going off topic anyway. Welcome to a Dungeon of Work, a division of Genericorp. A Dungeon of Promotion. Those who brave the steps will receive raises. Those who fail be eaten. Okay, I'm assuming but we can't get that this early on. Let me know if you ever have a room open. I don't really know anyone outside of work. Can I ditch that guy immediately? Employee of the month, Ted. Yay! Employee of the month is always Ted. He's such a nice. Oh no. Ted is such a cute and nice name. Whenever someone's called Ted and they're not nice, I get so sad. Enter the company break room. Use of room counts as dental and optical coverage. This game really is like so relevant. These 15-minute breaks are all that kept me through the day. Again, things have become like not even an exaggeration nowadays. Just 8 more years and I'll be able to retire. Oh, this poor old man. 8 years? You happy about that? Been working 40 years, kid. 8 more is nothing. They get the kid back in life. Has to be. Also, the opposite problem is happening nowadays. People are like lowering the retiring age, and it's like you don't even have enough savings to like be able to actually live on retirement. So like people are like, please let me continue working past the point where it's like it's physically hurting me because I have to work 10 times as much to be able to get like a basic actual retirement than like elderly people were able to get back in. It's really sad. There has to be a better way to live. Yeah, we haven't found it yet. I'm so sorry. Private rooms do not enter. The employer of Nintendo censorship standards I required to say that the substance in the bottles behind me is juice. This isn't an old RPG though, it's just going for a retro feel. Oh really, in that case I can say it's all heroin and all for steers. I really love like this sense of humour. The clock even working? How can it not be the end of the day yet? This job is the greatest thing ever. Huh? I can get promoted, but if I do it, it's asks me to spend even more time here. I hate this place so much. Work to live to work and live. Ugh, my cubicle. I prefer to ignore all the hours I spend here. This is the worst office. My life dream is to move to the office across from the hall. I have dreams where I die cold and alone in this cubicle. This game really is hitting so hard. I like it's got a sense of humour to such a dark topic. Good morning, sir. Kneel, snivelling peasant, for I am the king of work. Whatever you say, boss, I remember you need a new shift manager. I wonder what kind of person can get the job. You think I micromanage such petty, insignificant positions? Get thee to a dungeon of promotion, or I shall call thee a fool. Right. Enter not the chambers of the king of work. Honestly, not too far from what real bosses are like. Honestly, not so far from how like real like Karens are. Once you enter, you'll need to focus on work until you succeed or fail. Do you wish to enter the dungeon? Well, yes, because so far this seems to be the only thing I can do. That's a little complaint I've got so far. It's not been very clear on what you actually have to do to start the game. Like, I read the whole tutorial room and it wasn't like, how do I actually start? Ugh, I hate this place. How we decide who gets promoted never makes any sense to me. It's all a scam, man. Guess there's no choice but to keep moving forward. Can I ditch you and get the other guy? Found 3 sandwiches, 3 sodas and some fast food. Whoa, it must have been someone's cash or something. So we have to fight each other for the promotion. That's actually kind of funny. Hey, what are you doing taking a break? No, gas! Office break, police, emerge! No! The mimics, the true mimics of the game! Okay, do I... Whine! Yeah, you are a whining arsehole, right? Rhino? Your name is Rhino now! You've lost your name privileges! Why is she resisting? Like, it said that works on human enemies. Do office workers not count as humans? That would be a biting commentary. Okay, I can only heal myself, so oh well, sorry Randall, you're gonna have to die. Also, all of Randall's attacks are missing. Is he just deliberately the shit character? Is that his role? Is the game self-aware of these homophobia? It's just like we're giving him the shittest stats. Oh, you finally got a critical. No, I got a critical. Oh wow. I was gonna give you credit for a second, Randall, but no, that was entirely on me. Bobford is now level 2. Paperwork learned! Yay! How did I get this far in a job without that? Find 3 break times, pep talk, and a rethink life. Oh, rethink life is revive. Pep talk is heal status elements. Okay, that's confusing. They both say they heal status elements, but doesn't say which one. So I guess is one of those more effective than the other? Wanted to become shift manager. I'm so stressed I end up spending all my time in the break room. I'll never make it this way. New goal, get a promotion. Yay! I will quit that goal. Get on an entry-level job. Yeah! Can you equip my old and scrape together rent? Oh no! Oh, he's got a fedora. It's intentional. Makes everyone more likely to attack you. Okay, I'm relieved that he's intentionally supposed to be a dislikable character. Slow computers emerged. Drudgery emerged. I like how they're finding interesting ways to use default designs with like hilarious commentary on them. Wow, slow computers are easily beaten. That is not accurate to real life. So I've got to say the combat so far is like very bare minimum RPGmaker, but the fact they give everything interesting and unique names and stuff, it does definitely spice it up a lot. A miserable slacker like you, impossible! Oh, again using really, really good songs. New obligations emerged! No! I can do it! Heavy damage to work-related enemies, yeah! Goodbye, Randall! You lasted longer than we expected. Oh no! I'm glad that our heal does almost all of our health at once. We're honestly starting the game pretty damn strong. It's not overwhelmingly strong to the point of nothing actually difficult. This is a fairly reasonably challenging first boss. This is so far literally the first game I found which has an actual interesting difficulty curve early on, as opposed to too much or too little. Also, I like that the blind spell is instead unmotivating. Yeah, so that was something I almost lost, but I didn't either find the whole game boring and unchallenging early on, or find what the fuck I need to grind for the first boss. Impossible. Kimpossible. We're unstoppable. That's the second time I've mentioned that in this marathon. Robford was promoted. Yeah! Accurate to real life. You know you have to fight the promotion spiders. And there goes our timer. Let's go at least far enough to see what we get from our promotion here. Got a promotion. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, sir. I won't let you down, I promise. Who the hell are you? Okay, so I'm assuming that's our first goal done. What do we do next? I do find it weird how it gave you an entire massive tutorial room. It doesn't explain what is the goal of the game, what we're supposed to do. I know the goal is to get a job and stuff, but yeah. Considering how mad Mom and Pop Kingdom is with me right now, I'm probably not welcome in Port Nostalgia. Better let them cool down. Okay, that seems to be the only thing we could do so far. Oh, this is an odd mix of different sprite styles for monsters. I wonder what pack these come from, because I really, really, really fucking love this. I love this design so much. That is not a mundane obligation. That is a really exciting obligation. This to me represents the fun of hyper-focusing on silly video game monsters to escape your obligations. Oh, sorry, Randall is still dead. Where do I heal? Well, they're not doing real much. We've leveled up so much from our promotion, that's good. I'm already feeling a sense of accomplishment in what I'm doing. We've only barely started. This game has, again, genuinely the first one we found the entire marathon which has a good difficulty curve. Even Arafel, it wasn't a good difficulty curve. That game was a unique difficulty curve to say. It's totally optional to do things in a different order, and sometimes it was too hard, sometimes it was fine. Yeah, anyway, can we get rid of Randall? I mean, I suppose he's dead, but can we get rid of him even more? Even the best of games played so far haven't had a good early difficulty curve. It is wild. Strife emerged. That's a really cool design. Which pack are you from? I've seen the gargoyles from a lot of different packs. I don't think you would default to RPGmaker VXX. Yeah, you're not cool, man. Sorry. Now can I get the other guy that was in that tavern? Fear of intimacy emerged. No! Generic food! Thank you, generic food! So it's fitting that I'm easily taking down the fear of intimacy to this one I just don't have. I suppose in the sense, fear of intimacy as in I never have any desire to be intimate with anyone, but I'm also not afraid of it in the sense that I don't care. So, I don't know. Would it be more or less effective on me? I don't know. So we're gonna bones, I'm afraid. These things take time. Will you be my roommate? No offense, I don't know you well yet. I'm pretty happy with my current setup. Oh, wow. Hey baby, wanna come back to my place? No, I already got you out of my party, go away! Come on man, you just moved in. Yeah, I'm gonna say no for a wide variety of reasons. I got you out of my party, was I not supposed to ditch out my party? I'm sorry, but I never. Can I other guy be my roommate? Or have I just soft lock myself by getting rid of my roommate? No! I said I got rid of you! Why are you still in my party? Random guy in here, please be my roommate. No, I guess I'm stuck with him for the tutorial. Can I get rid of him after the tutorial? Is this the tutorial? Do I just go back and now I can do more stuff? Oh, here you are. Yeah. Hey man, got any more beer? Wow, you're sure serving a purpose. We'd like to report the enemy trooper. Can't we fight them ourselves? Wait, listen, there are 40,000 monsters out there. If you're really grind happy, why don't you just quit your job and farm gold on WoW? Probably that would be a Fortnite joke nowadays. Good work, sir. We'll survive the runs now. Why don't you take a well-earned rest? Yeah, I think I will. How do I do that? Ah, there we go. Age 25! Oh! So, yeah, it is like a calendar system. First credit card Legion, second credit card Legion. Ah. Also, I'm breaking even. My debts are down. I can do this. I'm going to show those debts who's boss. Can I get rid of him now? Can I get rid of him now? Hey, Debt Alliance! You guys are going down now. It's just a matter of time. Is it? Oh, that's a really cool orc design. I love you. I think you'll find your advantage is temporary at best. Yes, we're going to get rid of my roommate immediately. Gloat while you can. You're my favourite of the default designs. I love your little squirrely friend. Are you guys the enemy commanders or something? Really? Oh, I like this one too. Lead the three armies that will destroy you. This is so nostalgic for all the default assets. It's made it easy for me to take you out right now. Only if you have the mental fortitude to best us, which I doubt. Bring it on! Dead commander emerged. Oh no, it's gonna be like an unwinnable battle, right? Too strong. No, you are merely weak. You are too weak to defeat me, the powerful undead grandparent, strange default face man. I really like that design. I really like that design. Is there a game where that guy has to be the protagonist? Do you have any idea how flimsy your defenses are? If you lose your job, you'll have nothing. One little accident on the way to work. One burglary! One firing! Very little stands between you and ruin. When it happens, we will be there to conserve you. This game is so real, so relevant, more relevant every day. No. I may be weak now, but I won't stay this way. I'll keep working till I don't have to be afraid anymore. Alright, work is stable to have things under control. Time to take my life back. So yeah, that's probably a good place to start. From what I've played so far, intriguing idea for a game. And a proof that just using mostly the default assets, you can make actually a really good game out of it. Well, it is a bit of a shame we don't actually have the cool design that was on the title screen. I guess maybe they can only hire that person to do like one piece of art, I don't know. Yeah, I'm intrigued by the concept, the humour is on point, it's a really relevant topic to modern life, and it's intriguing to see how things have changed from like the debt situation back in like what 2007, wherever this came out. It was a little unclear what I was supposed to do first, but like now I think I mostly know what I'm going to do. It's going to be like repeating that pattern every day, right? But I don't know if I'll probably play this to completion on my own time. I'll play it until I see like how much maths you actually need to do to like fully complete it. It's not my kind of thing if I need to count higher than 100. But yeah, overall super positive so far. It was as good as I expected it to be, if not better. I actually found 4 more RPGmaker games I didn't even know I had. It's randomly loaded up my old Humble Bundle account. Here we are. Today we'll be playing Legionwood, Tale of the Two's Words. The executable folder is spelled wrong. And this one for some reason only plays in full screen. There's an option in the menus to select full screen or not full screen. No matter what I select, it's always in full screen. I don't know what's causing that. So yeah, it loads up a window and then it just goes into full screen no matter what. That's weird! That's weird! I literally loaded it up and it was in full screen. I checked the options and the options said it's not in full screen. And then I clicked to go in full screen. Now it's not in full screen. Okay. Legionwood, Tale of the Two Swords. You've somehow got the full screen and not full screen backwards in your settings. I don't know how that happened. Here we are back again with Legionwood, Tale of the Two Swords, now in the correct window size. Gotta say, just go through the title screen. Pretty darn good title screen. I like that art style. It looks quite detailed. It looks like, I'm not sure if that's pixel art or like scaled down drawings, but it looks pretty cool. The logo is a very fancy font. It's a little bit tricky to read at parts, but it looks really cool. I'm optimistic. I'm interested to see who all these characters are. They have quite interesting designs. Let's set our timer and let's go on in. Literally all we know so far, the full screen was backwards. Legionwood, Tale of the Two Swords. The Madam Two Swords. Legion would start a long intro. Okay, that's actually really funny. Okay, like when games have like an option to like skip the prologue or something, but like usually you only put it on like when you're doing a new game plus, or you put it in an optional, non-intrusive like little pop-up in the corner saying click here to skip prologue. There's been quite a few of them have had this. Takes out the immersion starting with interface tutorial, totally out of universe. Press this to menu. Of course, I'm going to watch the in. Please name Legionwood's 2 main characters. This is an odd way of phrasing it too, like making you name the main characters before you even get them introduced to you. It's even like, oh, you name it, oh, you put the protagonist at the beginning and you have like a little scene before everybody else is named. So I guess like, does this mean like dual protagonists, or is it just like we're going to name a whole party all at once? Lan. I think I recognise this art style for port. It's either a free resource I've seen that was really, really good, or it's just a very similar art style. I'll probably put it up on screen if I find it. I can do you one better. I can show you young me's attempts to use those sprites in my own completely failed RPGmaker game. The sprite creator is Kaduki or Usui634, but it was one that was taken down because a lot of people were misusing it without credit, so I hope that this game is one of the ones that did credit it correctly. But alas, I have no way of seeing the credits until I get the whole way to the end of the game, and I don't think I can do that in one session. But one thing I didn't know when I was originally recording this is they've actually come back and they're on a different website now called Enti, which from what I've heard is like the Japanese equivalent to Patreon. So they do paid assets instead on this website. I'm showing you some screenshots here. You can scroll down. I don't know what any of this is saying, and I don't know if it's like allowed for English people to join and to get all this stuff, but you can see like here's the same art style, here's various different things in low resolution to like avoid people from stealing them, and yeah. So if you like this art style, if you like this, you can go and look in these and find yourself. I'll put the link in the description of the video. Also, this is the sprite edit I made myself. The one on the left is the original, the one on the right was the character I was changing it into. And this character was from a Swordcraft Story fan game idea, which is, if you don't know, it's like one of the Summon Night series. It's like a game where you have a choice of 4 different monster partners at the start of the game, and they can all talk and they have different dialogue. And I just found that really interesting, the idea of like 4 branching routes where you have like a different supporting character on each of them. So here's some further doodles I did. These are some designs I was designing for the ice type starting monster. It's like the baby form of it. And here is the character in my art style at the time with their adorable. That was the idea, that they would all be like shadow monsters. They would live inside a shadow and they'd go around with you, and it was cute and fun. This is the design for her like fully grown form, and she was some kind of like ice spirit ghost type person who got sealed in a mini tiny form. Because that's what I did really like about Swordcraft Story, is like the 4 different options you had for the monster, they'd have very different personalities, and they give like very different perspectives on all the scenes they're involved in. So I thought like, this one was kind of based on Rasho from the first Swordcraft Story game, who's like sort of like an older parental figure to you, because like some of them are young, some of them are like the same age as you and like act like a love interest. It's like a good variety. Alas, I don't have very high quality of these drawings. And these designs had a whole extra other history of being redesigns of an old Fakermon I made back on, what was it, like Zephyr Island RPG forums when I was like 12. At the time I was really proud of these designs. A few years later I had realised why Native American appropriation is wrong, and I am so fucking ashamed that child me was just like a random culture's hat would be appropriate somehow to make a monster about. To be honest, I blame the cartoons that were around at that time, but still, I want to take responsibility for what I'd done. I want to redesign this monster design to be better and not this. And also completely actually give her an actual backstory and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm blabbering too much. It's in my big old pile of games I had too much aspirations and they were beyond my skill level. Which is why I admire everybody out there who makes their RPG Maker games a reality. Even if I don't personally like them, you've still accomplished more than I ever could. Lad and Hub. It just makes me think of Mega Man. No! When I have no idea who these characters are or what's happening or why I should care about them, I'm just going to give their names backwards. Oh, Niall and Oriel, suitable names? Well, I don't know if it's weird that they literally phrase it like that. Do these names fit the characters? I don't know, you haven't told me who the characters are. Not a very good way of introducing. Oh, this PNG image. That's actually really funny. It's just the most basic stock image of parchment scaled terribly. Not even on a background. Every great civilization knows the horrors of war. Is that what makes civilization great? Is it a defining moment that you know a civilization is great once horrors of war have happened? I don't think that's what it was intended, but I totally have misread that backwards. The world of Legionwood was once great, but the empires of the old were wiped out in the Great War and almost destroyed the planet of 1000. Also, it's kind of weird that this is again just being totally out of universe. Like, the narration is being said as if it's the creator of the game telling you how the game works, rather than just like, we in Legionwood have had this happen. Although 1,000 years have passed, nobody knows the cause of the war or how it finally ended. Records of the period are non-existent. But one thing is certain, humanity had been changed into something cooler than humanity. We're all dwarves now. Today, tensions run high as mankind fears it. Okay, how are they changed? You can't just blend on that. Does it mean literally, or is it just like the horrors of war have changed the landscape of a civilization, but not literally? Like, that made me think it was an interesting setting, like everyone got turned into zombies by a past war or something, and now we have to live with that in the future. Who was for war? What was war? I guess it says, like, we don't know exactly how the war ended, but we also don't know exactly how the war started, or what the war is, or who the war is, or which kingdom it happened to. For centuries, kingdoms have promoted peace, but what are the old rivalries? Were they the ones that started the war? Paranoia and Cold War run rampant. Political upheaval requires only a small spark. What political upheaval? This is, like, really, really strangely vague. An evil-minded society with influence dating back to the Great War hides in the shadows, plotting events that will change the world forever. Oh no, is it going to be one of those conspiracy theories? Again, you're not saying who the war was and who it was from or what it was motivated for. It was strife, there were different factions. Which faction is this? Which faction are we? That's a nice parallax, that's a nice font. Chapter 1, the arrival of anarchy, that kind of rhymed. It's also kind of a recurring problem in many RPGmakers is starting off with like a big, long description of like a bunch of lore rather than just getting you into it, whereas this somehow has both problems. It gave you a big long description of a bunch of lore without telling you any of the lore. Anyway, now we're in medias res with some random characters who probably are 1,000 years before this happened. I don't know. Masked Man says, "What is your bidding, my lord?" In a font, the name box font is very similar to the text box behind it. They at least picked a lighter colour of red, so it's not impossible to read. Our master has just informed you of his plan. The master? The one from the Reaches? You still confer with him? What are the Reaches? I'm so curious to find out what this world is. Alas, I have no choice, for the damned man is allowed leave of Tartarus. From Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, cameo appearance, When a damned man is allowed leave of Tartarus, he is bound by blood to do the Dark One's bidding. Someone has been revived from the dead and is being made to do evil things. Even after all these centuries, I still remain eternally tied to him. I can only hope that this time his plan succeeds. How I long for the quiet peace of the grave. Okay, you are more complex than a boring villain. You are somebody who doesn't want to be a villain, and is just like a zombie and is being forced to do it against their will. That's like accurate to the literal, actual, original concept of the term zombie in voodoo religion. It was like raising the dead as your slave to do your evil bidding from like an evil sorcerer and stuff like that. I don't know how that somehow evolved in popular culture into being a virus plague that happens with no sorcerers involved, but it's strange. It's strange what happens when Hollywood gets a hold of a religion. So then, what is required of me in this story? It's also strange how Hollywood can take things so much that nobody even knows it originally came from a religion. It's like how people don't know that pigeons aren't actually native to the UK, and the reason they're such like a bad pest animal is because they were originally imported to the UK en masse as like a fad pet in like the Victorian age, and then once the fad wore off, everyone just like abandoned them. So that's why we have feral pigeons everywhere, and they are so terrible at living in the wild because they were not actual wild animals native to our country, and that's why they flock around human settlements and mostly live off our garbage, because literally they were bred to be domesticated and to be dependent on humans, and it's really sad when you think about it. Anyway, going off topic, so then what is required of me in this sordid state of affairs? What is required of me in this sordid state of affairs? I want to know. Cast-off requires your special skills for his latest plan, Mercies. That's kind of funny, his name is Mercies and he's presumably some kind of villain. Come, let me show you something. Let's all slowly walk in a circle. What is this? It's a default RPGmaker asset! Yay! I'm nostalgic for you random strange altar thingy that is in every game as some kind of door. Look, the orb set into the sculpture. It's a sculpture today! I don't know, what is that asset supposed to be? Is it supposed to be an evil altar? Is it supposed to be a door? Is it supposed to be a gravestone? It's cool. It glows intensely. I have never been this close to it before. It's very vibrant. What is it? So he's giving it a little bit of a restaurant review before we get to the actual whatever we're doing evil about it. It's called the Orb of Lawfulness. Okay, so it's a good orb. It's a non-evil orb. The Orb of Lawfulness. Or maybe it's like evil law. It was a symbol of Legionwood's leadership. It was created a millennium ago at the end of the Great War. It was created by all the world leaders of the time who collaborated and toiled to forge a symbol which people could view as a source of hope in the darkness. So when you really said that, I thought you meant it's like an actual magical orb which like enforces the law and means that people can't do bad things. But now you're like, in the aftermath of a Great War when everyone is homeless, all the governments in the world spent all the money to toil and make a really fancy random statue to celebrate the end of the war for no reason, rather than spending it on actually rebuilding houses. And that is a lick of real-world realism that I did not expect to see in this game. It's bound to the blood of Legionwood's royal families. Its glow means that the bloodlines to which it is bound to... Okay, so it's not even that. It's like a racism orb. How is that in any way benefiting the world or proving that the war will not happen again? The kings still exist. Like, okay, but the kings are the ones who started the last war. How does that work? You know what I'll do to promise you that I will never make this mistake again? Here is an orb which tells you I'm continuing to exist, which presumably will be glowing as I continue to exist right in front of you with a sword stabbing in your eye. Oh, only the correct royal bloodline can rise from it? No, it's about the kings doing bad things. Why would anyone be comforted by knowing, oh, don't worry, the correct bloodline of my sons will make sure every future king will not be different to me in any way, because, like, if anything, it would have made more sense to be like, hey, we have made the orb of democracy. It will now select the best, most qualified person to rule instead of us relying on just our bloodline. I don't know. This is supposed to comfort the people of the world, but ironically, it could end up here in our possession. We use it to determine what it's... Okay, I was going to say, if a line was going to be supposed to comfort the people of the world, but it's hypocritical and doesn't work, I would have been like, yeah, okay, give you points to the game. But no, it's like... It's just unironically saying it was supposed to comfort the people. How was it supposed to come? How would anyone feel comforted by the orb of the king still exists? Like, you can see the king still exists by walking over and looking at the king. And now, even worse, the villains have found it and they're going to use it to kill the king. Okay. See, it glows dimmer now than it did in the ages following the Great War. Now the bloodlines of Legionwood's leaders are thinner. Okay, so they have not been, like, being inbred to keep the bloodline like real-world, like, olden-timey kings. That's at least good. See, Lead, it glows as long as the lands are still under honourable rule. No, it doesn't. It literally just said it's just about the bloodline. The same bloodline which started the war. Endless war instigated by foolish leaders as dull. Okay, so... This would make sense if this was created before the war. You literally said it was created after the war. Now you're saying endless war has dulled it. But it was created after the war. I don't know. Were there more subsequent wars after the Great War, and were these somehow worse than the Great War, but not deserving of being called the Great War? The time to strike is nigh anyway. I wanted to kill each of Legionwood's great leaders, one by one. What? Why? Our master can't emerge from the shadows until this is done. Is it going to be something like the master is the one who instigated the wars in the first place, and like all the kings are actually innocent? I'm nitpicking the story. Many RPGmaker games have a really, like, excuse plot of a story, and I should not be getting hung up on it and judging it too harshly for it. We will monitor your progress of the orb. When it has stopped glowing, we will know you have succeeded. Either that, or you fucked all of the kings and then had half-breed children with them. Have no more worries, Mercies. Maybe he's named Mercies on purpose because he's the guy who's doubting. He didn't seem like the guy who was doubting the evil plan from the start, but now he's doubting the evil plan. Okay. It seemed like you were the one doubting the evil plan at the start, but oh well. It's the master's will that this must be done. We know what you are capable of. We know what Bornfoot's not capable of stringing together a sentence. He questioned his mission at first. Perhaps it may be wise to keep an eye on him, as if I didn't also question my mission in the first line I had. Even though I was saying that I don't wish to serve the Dark Master, I'm only doing it because I'm forced to, you'd think that, like, you would be, like, doing malicious compliance, which means, like, technically obeying the orders of your slave master, but if you see anyone else who's, like, disobeying them, you don't interrupt, or, like, you don't use your own discretion to, like, change what you're doing to make it more effective. I mean, the classic example is like, oh, plant these trees, and you just keep planting trees because, oh, you never told me to stop, and you, like, destroy the entire field. I don't know, I feel like those characters kind of flipped morality by the end of a sentence. Anyway, finally, what was taking you so long, Null? You know today is important. Huh? A rail? I was comfortable. The sun's only just come up. Why'd you wake me up? Oh, that's funny. That I didn't click to advance the text box. That was a good way of doing it. Oh, come on now, it's market day, remember. You know that the sweetened apples sell out fast. Damn. Let's use actual injured sprite for the pain of not having yummy apple. Okay, I'll get up. Just go get the basket for me, or we can't carry them. What are sweetened apples? Is it just like we put some sugar on some apples? Or is it like candy apples? Like treacle dipped apple? Anyway, why can't she go on her own anyway? It's not like we're children anymore. Not that I have to. No, never mind that. Okay? Just gotta keep my head out of the past. I better get. I have some sort of mysterious backstory. Yay! Also, I find it funny how he's just sitting, like, standing on top of the bed rather than actually under the sheets. It's surprising how many games we've played during this marathon which actually animated you getting out of the sheets. It's just we've had a lot of good quality games in this. Blop. Do you want to read the basic control tutorial? The fact you've mentioned it, I think there's going to be something here but beyond just let's walk left and right with a keyboard. Okay, Alt and Enter toggles for screen mode. Okay, so that's probably why the game had weird full screen settings. We have figured out the problem. Also, I was like, why is our bed full of sparkles where our feet were? Do we have fairy foot fungus? Is that just to indicate what's interactable? Where'd I put the money again? Oh, you always forget, Niles. It's in the chest, like always. Honestly, Niles, if you were any more forgetful, we'd never be able to leave the house. Oh, okay. So sparkle is not indicating everything that's interactable, it's just like some things are interactable. There, now you've got the money. We ready to go yet? Yes, relax, we're leaving now. No need to get impatient here. A good call for once, Niall. Let's go. Marketplace is this way, I think. Oh, Grandpa's pet. Oh, that's what it is. I think this is the RPGmaker DS sprite style for the overworlds. That's really good. That's a unique and uncommon one to go for. What do you mean you think this? Of course it is. I like that Grandpa. I like that Grandma. I like that Grandpa and that Grandma. Just making sure. You know, I forget things sometimes, Rail. Let's go. That's going to be the excuse for why everything has to be tutorialized. We're just playing as if we forgot. Yeah, our protagonists seem to be a slightly different art style to them. And also, that door is clipping over the top of her head. It's definitely not as much of an artistic mismatch as other games. The default background sprite style with the DS sprites on top and then an entirely different sprite style only for protagonists. It is a little bit strange, but they make good choices of ones that do go well together. Sweet apples are available on the second day of every month. Okay, so it's like a rarity. You can see that it's the sprite style difference better in this screenshot. Oh, that's neat, there's a bartering. What's the option there? Oh, that's just sell. Oh, I thought bartering was gonna be like some sort of like alternative currency system where you could like swap things for other things. Just throw a thesaurus on everything in the screen. It's not a potion, it's a salve. It's not a potion, it's a peptide. It's not a potion, it's a serum. A tonic. And medicine and punch. Fruit punch, I do at least laugh at that one. All the rest are like every single synonym for potion you can think of and then just fruit punch. There's so many tourists in town today. I can't quite remember when Upper Thorn had so many visitors. They're probably mostly northerners who are stopping through and away at the capital for the King's Festival. I wish I could go too, but I have my children to worry about. Oh well. Going to the market, I don't get too hopeful. I heard there's a shortage of some types of produce on this month due to the festival in the capital city and all. My father wasn't able to buy any spices. Yeah, this NPC dialogue is coming off as very flat and strange to me. This is what will happen next in the plot. This is what you need to do. This is how the gameplay works. This is it. Always remember the golden rule deals. You don't know how many supplies you'll need on the trip ahead, so always buy more than what you think you need. Also pack items that you may need in any situation. Yeah, for example, it's just like, hi, I am the lady who explains to you that you should purchase items to make battle go better. For example, here is item that cures poison. Is that Kaifas or Cyphers? Selling grain, woven goods and pottery. Woven goods and pottery, all going cheap. Grain bags and pottery, and also pottery. I emptied a bag of grain for 31 Kaifas? No thank you. And clear out of here, anybody interested in you? Grain, I'm selling grain and pottery, all going cheap. But the pottery's going extra cheap, it's missing a letter. I mean, look at this one pouch here, 22 Kaifas you want for it. Just that, sorry, hi, I saw one child starting. So we have like 5 different NPCs all dedicated to the concept of this one guy is selling things for too much, and the reason for that is because things are in scarcity, and the reason for that is because this, and the reason for that is because this. Hello, the same Grandpa. He must be sick of people asking him how to use the equipment. You'll see he put a note in the back wall explaining. Might be worth reading if you aren't familiar with using equipment. So now we have an NPC who's supposed to tell us behind me, the big glowing sign is also an NPC that tells him tutorial. 2-stage tutorial telling! And the tutorial is literally just use the equipment option in the menu. So you walk in, the first guy you see, he tells you there's a really important tutorial on how to use equipment right behind me on the big massive fucking glowing sign you would see already. And then you go to the big massive fucking glowing sign you can see already, and it just tells you there's a big button saying equipment in your menu. And that's it. Born in the future popping in to re-clarify what I said here, because I don't think I explained it well enough in the actual review because I was pressed for time. Like, I don't like NPCs that have like no sense of their own actual life or personality. They just go like, hey, this is how you use menu option so-and-so, this is an item you should get. I feel like the way we tried to fix it is also equally bad. Because I still don't have what I actually wanted, which was NPCs having a personality and feeling like a genuine character. I'm going to dryly repeat a bunch of statistics about my job as if I'm having some kind of board meeting. Both of these tactics to how to write an NPC kind of just feels like someone who knows in general the idea that NPCs have to exist, but isn't actually very invested in doing it and is kind of just phoning it in. Reading off a checklist, read an NPC that talks about, like, I'm farmer, I do farm, I'm housewife, I do housewife. This is how a farm works, this is how the trade routes are cut off to my farm, this is how the economy is affecting my farm, but not who I am or my personality or what I care about my farm, if that makes any sense. I care about characters in RPGs more than anything else. I can even play something with a shit story if the characters are great. So this was a thing that put me off this game, but it might not be the same for you out there. I don't want to judge too harshly just based on my personal preference. Hee I said according to the sellers pouch without him knowing. The one brief textbook of the town and its crime child. Grandma. These poor souls, even today no magic spell has even come close to be able to revive the dead. To revive a dead. The priest's spell can break even the most intense coma or injury, but once his soul has passed away, you must bid them farewell. Okay, that's good. You are so far the only actually interesting NPC that's giving us some world lore rather than basic stuff. And you've just walked over my friend. Anyway. Yeah, that's good because it's like the assumption would be that revival spells always exist in games. Yes, young lad. What are you looking for this fine day? Looking for sweetened apples. I can't seem to see any of them in the store. You must surely have some left. Where are they? Sorry, but as a matter of fact, never even had anything to begin with. All the sweetened apples is known for brought up by the royals over in the capital for their feast as part of that festival of theirs. It's quite good for us farmers, I reckon. I made quite a bit of pie from it. I suppose that means we're out of luck. Let's go buy something else up there. Wait, no, what about the festival? What's it all about? Maybe we can just go and have fun there instead. Alright, there's some royal things. Probably in the palace to it. Never let us common as it. Let's just go. Actually, that's a public occasion. All going on right in the town square. Free for all in honor of the king's newborn daughter. Ooh. And then an assassin guy's gonna come in and beat him up. Well, NPCs walk over our friend repeatedly, and somehow we'll get involved in the main plot because of that? A lot of people will be there. Why? I heard they've even invited noblemen from Travel and assassins from the intro. Using the occasion to try and forge a peace bond between Charles and Travel. It's actually not a bad idea to go and enjoy the celebration, if I might say so myself, and it should be an apple tea. It's like, the prologue was like, we will not say a single word about what's actually happening, and in every other character we will say every word about every single thing that is happening to us as it's happening out loud to the first person who walks by. Let's go see it now. Come on, it's not far. If we leave now, we can make it to a city before nightfall. How about it? Oh, I don't know. It's kind of short notice, and we aren't exactly prepared for a long journey. Long journey? It's only a day's walk. We don't even need to pack. How long has it been since we did something fun, something for ourselves? 5 seconds ago when we went to buy sweetened apples. What? I would enjoy a day to go out and buy a rare food. Like, I've had times when I've gone off on the bus to like the one place like slightly outside of Cardiff where they sell takoyaki. It's a viable hobby. Well, I suppose it isn't too far. It'd be a worthwhile journey at least. I've not been to a royal fest. So we're going. Wow, no, that's great. I promise you'll enjoy this as much as I will. Hey, listen, before you go, can you do me a favour? Have this beast book. Yay! We're gonna catch monsters! That would instantly improve my opinion tenfold. So mercenary trade to me the other day. I'm supposed to record the information of monsters to defeat, but nobody's interested in buying a book that has nothing in it. That's at least funny. Could you by any chance take it over? But it doesn't make much sense because, like, why would you not sell it to adventurers? Like, you would think there would be a lot of adventurers and they would really want that if you explain what it is. Why would you assume us, the sweetened apple children, would want it more than the adventurers? Like, there were like several tough guys standing in the corner right there. And merchants, other merchants would also, like, unless it's like only monsters you defeated rather than monsters you encounter. Because like if you were a merchant and like you frequently encounter monsters like being trouble getting in the way and stuff, it would be useful to have a book which could like remind you of like which one is and how to avoid. I'm thinking too much into everything. That's been a summary of a playthrough so far. Is I'm thinking too much into everything because the dialogue is very, very bland and I don't really have much to say about it. Well, presumably it's exactly what you just said. When you encounter a monster and defeat it, you get added to the book and it's just like Pokemon. Okay, it is just like Pokemon, it's just not an option in the menu, you just have to use the item from the key item. Okay, southeast is where we go next. So it says, buy a few items to prepare for the journey first. Okay. Text. Okay, it's skills and also text. Also, why does she have an ancient royal throne in the background? Rare crystal bottles and vials of unknown potion chemicals. You recognise one. We have just stolen medicine from this random skill wizard. You remind me of the guy from Spirited Heart. I do not want to be reminded of the guy from Spirited Heart. He was a bad lover. Wait, do you wish to have me bestow on you a text within the tomes? What are texts? Are they the same as skills which we were just told we need to get? Okay, so it's exactly the same skills in every other game except that you buy them in shops rather than learning them when leveling up. So it's kind of like materia from Final Fantasy VII. It's kind of an odd thing to have a game just immediately tell you, like, oh, by the way, prepare a bunch of spells, like, set your own text and decide on your character playstyle before we actually get to the story. Yeah, our timer is up and we haven't got to the story. Okay, you seem to be best at attack and agility, so let's not use attack spells on you. Okay, you just seem to be well-rounded in both attack and intellect, but they're both less than your agility. So I guess you could use any text and he can't use magic, attack magic? I guess maybe later on we'll gain someone else who's better with magic? But actually, I don't know if it's one of those games where healing is dependent on your magic stat, like it heals more, so I may as well just like give it to both characters. Oh, it's one of those games where it's revealing the HP bars and you have to bloody use a skill for it. Give that to everybody too. I don't know why Explosion is less expensive than everything else. Honestly, why would I not just buy... It doesn't even have like slot limits like Material. I can't just like buy every skill for every character. I'll buy one of the various healies of statuses and let's go. Let's find out what's going on. That is a really fucking big table. That is weird how weapons are really, really cheap and the skills are really expensive. It seems everyone can use every weapon too, so okay. Yeah, what is Quick Strike? I'm realizing I'm not even really talking very much. I'm having so little to actually say. Oh, this is the first one so far which had an overworld map, and I like that how it actually like scales the sprites down small for it. That's cute. Not a very populated world map. Are there not any random encounters on the world map? Oh, that's neat. So I don't know where those sprites come from. I don't recognise those from any other RPG games. See, that's cute. Okay, I may as well, because like, if they're telling us a tutorial, maybe there's something new and unique that needs tutorials, but no, every time it's just like, press attack to attack! Yay! Yeah, it is literally just, this is what HP means. Okay, that's interesting for it to say. There is apparently, there's no, first we know you don't die when you get knocked out. It is just a knockout, but it's called a coma in this, which is just like, that's a very serious word to use for it. But yeah, so there is apparently no like revival item or spell equivalent. The only way to recover is to return to the sanctuary and utterly save. Okay. Well, that's at least one interesting thing that makes it worth making sure I'm really going to talk. It's used a nice song. That's a nice animation for scanning, even if it's a bit stale still. Oh, it's one of those where like it does literally just, it shows you it when you use the attack and like it does it not like have a HP bar pop up permanently after that. Common Snake, found in fields on the right, where you get slashing attacks plus fire and air penalties. Shame it was like all of it in there. That is kind of what you get when you're told like pick your own moveset in the first town where you've actually seen any enemies. Oh wow. Oh, that's cute, the invaders and little text on top. I feel tired. Not just because the game is boring, but also I'm just tired, but also yeah. So far this is like one of the most, nothing really different than RPGmaker games I've played so far. It is just like exactly what you would expect from ARPG, and like, not even in the way that Arafel was like, oh that's a very traditional RPG that's done really well. This is just, I guess there's some kind of hero stopping some kind of prophecy because some kind of war between two countries we don't know what they are happened, and the bad guys are looking for the one true royal bloodline, which we know is good despite the fact that there's a war, like bad. At least it's using like a lesser used sprite style which looks quite nice and cute. At least it has a funny name for the currency as Kaifers. Even the map design is just so uninspired. It's like very, very square rooms with lots of space and not really any interesting ideas. I like that mushroom with a funny face! You're a friend, you're a pal, I love you, Fungus. Okay, you are so far the best thing in this entire game. I want to pat this weird, gramply-headed mushroom on the head. The mushroom evolved to roam the land long ago. I like you, and I'm glad that you evolved to roam the land. You can evolve, you can roam my house and be my little friend. You are the one thing I will take away from this adventure. I guess that's why the game gives you the enemy book, but if the enemy book can only be used outside of battle, it's really not a good compromise. Like, I really do like when games like literally just have a HP bar to show you how much HP they have. Like, you don't necessarily have to have every bit of information about the enemy's weaknesses on screen all the time or anything. Like, that's fine, but like, at least have, I I do think it is very basic just to have a HP, but I don't know why the earlier RPGmaker games didn't have it as a basic feature. But yeah. Use a salve! It's not a potion, it's a salve! Oh, I like a low HP animation, that's cute. That's also one thing that's mildly interesting is when you open a chest, the actual icon of the item pops up. It's probably going to be one of the shortest ones when I actually edit down the footage. And I feel bad I'm going longer because I've had so little to say about it, but yeah, if the game isn't grabbing me, the game isn't grabbing me. And for all I know, I could be totally wrong with the game, just have a bit of a slow intro when it gets great later on. I just realised how mundane like our quest is. Our quest, okay, important, this is going to be a good tutorial, but yeah, our quest is just, we have no connection to anything that's going on, we just want to buy apples. We couldn't buy apples, so we're going to go off to a random place which as far as we know has no danger actually happening, and then when we go there we'll find there's danger actually happening and somehow get roped up in the actual main plot, hopefully. Usually when games do this kind of thing, they start with like, oh, you're like an ordinary random kid who has an ordinary day doing random chores or whatever, and then you get roped into the main plot. They usually use the time to like establish a character personality. It's more like, all we really know about our characters is like, our main character is forgetful and not very fun, and our assistant character is kind of an arsehole to us. Oh, you're terrible, you never have any fun. We've had no sign of him not actually never having any fun. He is literally just like, I've woken up, I'm gonna go buy some apples with you because you like apples. And then she's like, oh, you never let me have any fun, you only do exactly what I told you to do, I guess. Anyway, please say this tutorial is going to be something more basic than just AP is a resource that charges up during battles, and then when you get a lot of AP you can use a special move, which is what it is in everything. Even our AP is points that you gather to learn skills, which it probably isn't, you already learn skills in different ways. Oh, it's attribute assigning points. Okay, thank you, this is a genuinely interesting use of it. Only if this is a basic thing that many other games also have without a big tutorial for, but they call it something different, they don't usually call it AP. So thank you for clarifying this is what AP means. It means after you gain a level, go in the menu and like, that's annoying because in RFL, for example, when you gain points you can assign to attributes after battle, like when you level up you can level them up immediately, right? It immediately says, hey, you've gained points, put them up. Whereas here it's like you have to go into the menu and find it. Okay, you enter the character screen and you press A on the keyboard. That's a really weirdly specific way to do it. So it's not even just an option in the menu, you have to go into the most really specific place and then use a keyboard shortcut binding. So yeah, it explains the most basic ass thing, but oh, by the way, it's got the worst possible way of finding where it is. And it's like, oh, you can use stat points to make a magic focus character. Yes, I assumed when you said I can assign stat points, but I can assign stat points to magic. Thank you. Thank you very much for explaining the basic concept. Come on! But by the way, if you spend points on defense, your defense will go up! Hooray! The statistical thing, okay. This game is just so... This is a really specific one, okay. Cost increase. Don't know what this means. What does threat mean? Okay, I'll go and look at the statistical survey. That's the only stat that wasn't self-explanatory. Literally, if you're having a long-ass tutorial, why would you not say, oh, by the way, the one stat which is non-intuitive? Instead it's like, no, defense makes your defense go up. Magic makes your magic go up. What is threat? Does threat mean the likelihood of an enemy to target you? In which case that's an interesting idea. Not many games do that. I'm interested in using that. Hooray. Oh, I have to click from attack. How attack do to get to it? You can't even just choose from a menu which one you want to look at. Okay, yeah, literally every other stat exactly what you'd expect. Threat is what I predicted. It makes a character attack more. So if we have a character that we want to be very defensive, then we can go for that. So so far neither of us are particularly super defensive. There's not much point raising threat. But when we get another character, hopefully I'll have someone who's like good for defense. You can be our physical attacker for now. That's good, at least you can reassign him at any time. It's also weird when you back out that you don't go back to the character menu, you go back to the entire starter menu. Quit the game is called Resign. I can't take this office job anymore. I just want to get through this and get to see what the plot actually is. That is the tiniest bat I have ever seen. The bat is literally smaller than the evade box. No wonder it's evasive. This environment design is so boring that they're not even bothering to hide the chests, they're just like right there in your path. Again, I'm not going to bother them, I'm just trying to get to the plot. Oh no, you okay now? No, not so it's delaying the plot even more. He's not answering, maybe he's hurt, what can I do? He could be in trouble. Ouch, damn. I fell into a trap. I thought it said fall below for a second. Oh no, he needs help. Hold on now, I'm coming down. He asked for no pickles. It's okay, Noel, I'm here, you're gonna be... Huh? You're not hurt? No, I'm not. Were you worried? Of course I was. I heard you groan in pain. I thought you'd broken a leg or something. Well, thanks for worrying about me, but I'm completely fine. But it just hurt when I hit the ground, that's all. What's worrying me is why somebody set up a trap. Somebody wanted to catch us for a reason. Do we have some unknown enemies? Are we somehow involved in the plot in a way that was not foreshadowed? Does someone really want to steal our sweet apples, which we never even got in the first place? They're having that was a weird animation. They're having a terrible day. We didn't get apples, they got broken legs instead. Damn, something's coming, we're in trouble. It's the plot, is it the plot? Nowhere to hide. I think I'm starting to regret jumping down here. Maybe it's friendly. It would be nice if it was a friendly orc. I'd be more interested in them than anything else that's happened so far. That's a nice, at least a nice little animation for sure. That's a really weird design for the ogre. Is that its face, or is it like faceless and has a snout like a wolf, or is it some kind of like LED robot display? I don't know. That's a lot of HP. That's a very massive, fast inflation of HP. So we've just got, again, the fact that we can only like afford like 1 or 2 skills each, like it is just random what elements we got. We have no idea what elements, probably have no idea what elements we need for the enemies. They just told us like, pick your entire gameplay style immediately. And yeah, it's like, you use a move twice and then just start hitting basic attack. Yeah, our basic attack skills so little we're just gonna have to use all the rest of the it only recovers 50%, that's not even gonna say it recovers like 1 attack worth. I probably shouldn't have got the healing star because the fact that healing star uses so much SP and SP is in such slow supply. I should have just like used them to buy more healing items. But again, I didn't know because on the game tells you, prepare for your journey right now, you just do what generally works in other RPGs because you have no frames left. Oh well. Easy come, easy go. So we had to grind to beat the first boss, and even though we had to select the right text in the start for this. Mandatory grinding should not be necessary for the first dungeon of the game. Game over! Evil will always prevail! Evil prevailed in writing this game. That's my overall verdict. Not too much of a good start, bit of a slow start. It might get better once you actually get through it, but for the purposes of this RPGmaker Roulette, the whole point is showing the start of games, so yeah. Also, where are all the good graphics? Like the good title screen graphics? There were no uniquely drawn graphics of the entire game after that one. I was interested in seeing like this art style for the portraits or something. Looking on the Steam page, it seems the game does actually use that interesting art style from the title screen at some point. It seems they have like CG images similar to a visual novel. That's cool. I really like this art style. It's really well done. I like the nice pencil sketchy style. It is generally great. I wish I'd gone far enough to see some of that. It's also on Steam and it's part 1 of like more of them going on. This developer has made many other games. Oh, this is a definitive edition. It's got engine updates, overhauled gameplay, and a completely rewritten story. Yeah, it seems the version I was playing was the original from 2007 then, because it was on an old Humble Bundle account. So if you want to play it, this is apparently the definitive version. At some point there will be cutscenes. The description says exactly what we said. There was a great war. An antagonist. An antagonist is setting in motion a plan. You are thrown into a conflict. It's a thrilling story of love, revenge, war, and peace. When you get to it. Let's add this to my list of warning signs for an RPGmaker game. When the description just says, it's a really great story, it's full of twists and turns, events will happen, everyone loves it, it's a throwback to classic RPGs, it's the indie RPG classic, the highly rated thing, and then like, source please. Well, this game apparently is liked. It's liked. It has very positive reviews. Let's look at some of those reviews and see what I'm missing. Here's a review that's exactly what I said. The characters and story was so uncreative and uninteresting for the whole half hour I played. I wouldn't be that rude and I wouldn't like agree with all of those things, but the first line definitely, the game doesn't give a good showing of what it is early on. Okay, apparently this is a recurring problem through it, is that the game is very difficult and like you have to grind a lot between every boss, even the first boss. One of the better RPG Maker games for sure. Are you sure? Why is it? Why is it? Please explain. It's a good RPG Maker game, it's a good old school JRPG. It's, as an RPG Maker game, it's 10 out of 10, but why? This game is for JRPG fans who enjoy combat RPGs. I'm a retro game, but I enjoy RPGs and JRPGs, so I'm enjoying it a lot. Really good one! It's free! It's like some sort of in-joke. All of these reviews are just as vague as the game was. Like, the majority of all the reviews here are just like, it lets you customize your stats. I thought that was neat. I thought it was neat that I could pick my skills and my stats. And it's a traditional JRPG, but it's free, so that's great. Yeah, I can't say this is bad in any way, it's just kind of very generic and doesn't give you a hook right away. This is just the very epitome of what RPGmaker can do in its most basic sense, and that's a bit of a shame. And if that's what you want, and you want a quick free thing, and you want something of challenging difficulty, go ahead. We've played quite a few more in the marathon that are also free or cheap or etc, so yeah, just throwing it out there.